Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for mid-December 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Taurus, and you start off with this nettle card. It says action on it, and you have two cards here that both represent taking action, the Eight of Wands and the Page of Wands. I would definitely say this is more inspired action, which I feel every single reading that I've been doing for you has been talking about the importance of taking like inspired action. The type of inspiration, the Page of Wands feels inspiration, but it's more kind of like his desire. He has a desire to do something. He feels maybe some sort of inner pull inside of him. And that is the thing that he uses to guide his actions. So I feel that you definitely, obviously, need to pay attention to your inner voice, to your inner feelings, to the things that you want to accomplish. Even going down this way, we go to the World card. And look at this, to the Wheel of Fortune. This could be like very quick changes or very quick accomplishments coming in for you. So, if you're working on any projects, businesses, or even if you're just working on, personal changes, this would say that these things are going to happen quickly, and they're probably going to change your life as well with the Wheel of Fortune. So definitely looks really good to me here. I would definitely focus, you have the Eight of Wands, but you also have the Seven of Cups. The Eight of Wands, to me, is a very rapid manifestation card. Like, we can manifest things very, very quickly with the Eight of Wands, but here's the problem, is that Seven of Cups, It's like Seven of Cups is scattered thinking. It is having too many options sometimes. I like the Seven of Cups, but for you, just based off this reading, it's like having the World card here would be having one thing that you want to accomplish and just focusing just on that, right? And with the Eight of Wands, we need to make sure that we don't have scattered thinking, or that we're not creating, opposite vibrations, basically. So I would focus on exactly what you want and exactly how you want to get it. And I would get rid of the stinking thinking, right? Or the challenging thoughts or the negative thoughts, basically, with this energy. Next, you have these Seven of Cups here, again, being spoiled for choice. I do feel there are a lot of options coming in for you. It's kind of interesting in your third row here. This is the good stuff that's coming up for you. And you do have the Nine of Swords here. But again, it's going to be positive no matter what, because it's showing up in the area of the good stuff. And the Nine of Swords, that to me would say that you're ending a nightmare. You're getting out of some sort of round and round situation. Nine of Swords is my round round card. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune right below it. So clearly your fortunes are changing. But I feel that your focus is probably the thing that is going to get you out of like anything where you feel stuck, or if you keep repeating the same cycle, if you feel like you're living in Groundhog's Day, I feel your focus is going to be very important. You also have two sevens here, so you have the Seven of Swords next. To me, two sevens in a reading is, especially when they show up right next to each other or on top of each other, it represents internal fears that don't exist. So I definitely feel you need to let go of some fears. Seven of Swords can also represent doing things kind of like differently than you normally would. So I feel like for some of you, this is saying like, let go of your fears with the Seven of Swords, and don't be afraid to approach things differently. He is walking away from this army that's in the background here. So he's stealing those swords from an army. He's like trying to, accomplish something in a different way. One thing I will say is that going this way from the World to the Devil, you have the Wheel of Fortune here, Nine of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Even though that's showing up in the area of the good stuff, we are getting close to a Mercury retrograde. So if you have a person from the past who is the devil, then I would definitely make sure that this person does not pop their head up, because, especially at this time, because again, we have a Mercury retrograde at the end of the month, and we're pretty much going to be in the shadow here starting in the middle of the month. So, I would be careful of that. With the Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands, you have the Magician. I mean, I knew that was going to be about manifestation. I knew that Eight of Wands was going to be about your focus and what you focus on. So I think it's like your thoughts. You know what you want to create in your life. You know how you want your life to look. And I think it's all those thoughts maybe that pop into your head that say, oh, I'll never be able to do that, or I'll never be able to create that, or whatever. I think getting rid of those thoughts is the kind of solution to your problems. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Five of Swords. I feel just a very back and forth energy here for some reason. I don't even feel traditional Five of Swords energy here. I feel this not being sure what to do, really. Those are the words that are popping into my head. So I feel for some of you, if we go like this right here, if we go straight across, we have the Knight of Swords, right? I feel that for some of you, you just need to kind of like slow things down as much as you possibly can, especially in your thoughts. Like if you're just not sure what direction to go in your life, if you're just not sure what to do right now, I feel like this Knight of Swords is saying, like, it might be a good time to slow things down, especially we have this Mercury retrograde, at the end of the year here. It might be a good time to just slow things down, process your thoughts, and really kind of think about things instead of just rushing and making rushing decisions, especially if you're about to make a big decision with that world. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Six of Cups. Like I said, I would be careful of any liar, cheater, stealer from the past. I would just block them at all, and that would be it. Done. Next, in the area of what you don't see coming, you have this Leo card that says shine. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you. I also am getting that I think that there are some opportunities that are coming in for you here that could really kind of stand out. Some things that, if you slow things down with the Temperance card, I think there are going to be some opportunities that really kind of lead you in a much better direction in your life. Especially for some of you, this is clearly financial, but for all of you, I think that this is really talking about your entire life, many different things here that you're trying to accomplish. Part of me feels this is Uranus and Taurus. As I always say, Uranus and Taurus wants us to build or leave a legacy, but this doesn't, that doesn't just have to be financial. It's pretty much like everything in your life. But I feel there are some things that are going to start standing out to you here. And I feel like you just, it's like almost like mentally I can't see it in my head. I'm just going to tell you, like, again, the way I read, I basically put myself in your shoes. I just channel energy from source, and whatever I get is what I get, right? But it's like, if I put myself in your shoes here in this row of the unexpected or whatever you want to call it, it's like I can't see mentally how I'm going to get this right here. And what you want is right here. This right here is the path to glory. It's going up to that crown there, Taurus. And, this could be anything that you want in your life. But it's like, the Temperance card is about patience. It's about kind of reworking things, moving things around, trying to get into a situation so that things can be better. Like, I don't really have a good example for you other than, it's like years ago, I always tell a story. I was stuck for like 3.5 years of my life. I basically did nothing. And, it's kind of funny because looking back at that time, I basically did nothing. I was trying to start business after I had a business failure. And, my parents kept telling me to get a job, right? And I didn't get a job. I don't really regret that, but, it's like one of those things. If during that time I just got a job, I think it would have made my life a lot easier, right? And I kind of feel that for some of you, there could be a situation where it's like maybe there's something you don't really want to do. I really didn't want to get a job at the time. And again, do I really regret it? No, probably not really. But at the same time, again, it probably would have, removed a lot of stress from my life. And I feel for some of you, there could be like a stepping stone type opportunity that's coming in for you. I feel like you kind of see it, you kind of don't see it. And, I feel like you need to realize that you're not going to be stuck somewhere. You're just like in this in-between time, right? It's like this Temperance angel is just kind of trying to turn water into wine until they can get back on their journey here, until they can get back on their path. So for some of you, I feel there could be an opportunity for you to do something that actually brings you closer to your achievement, that actually brings you closer to what you want. But maybe mentally you're kind of seeing it as bringing you farther away, or, kind of like at that time, right? If I got that job, like the way I would have felt if I got a job would have been, like I was giving up, right, on starting a business or having businesses in my life, which is stupid because I should have just looked at it as a stepping stone, not something that would have been a long-term thing, right? So I hope this makes sense. For others, I feel like you could be moving, or there are moving, opportunities. I always say that with Uranus in your sign in Taurus, you are going to want freedom. I see a lot of you moving and traveling over the next, few years here. You have the Nine of Wands here. I don't think you want to give up. I don't think you're necessarily ready to give up, but I feel like some of you are kind of in this space where you're kind of just saying, what do I do next? The Nine of Wands tells me, but I almost feel this is more encouraging for you. I feel like it's saying, no, there's more. There is more for you to accomplish. There is more for you to do right now, Taurus, and it's not the end yet. So let's see where this is going. I don't think I've ever felt like this for you, Taurus. And what do you know? With that Nine of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. Again, it might sound ridiculously simple, but, I think the Eight of Wands is your answer. I think that your focus is going to be very important, focusing on exactly what you want, asking the universe for exactly what you want, and to not be ashamed of what you're asking for. Maybe you want $1 billion, and and I would say ask for it. And you might be saying, I can't make $1 billion. And well, then you're right? So I feel like you need to believe, and you need to believe it deep down, that you can have whatever you're asking for, right? With the World card, you have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. I do feel there could be a new person coming in for some of you, although, again, mentally, I think at the end of the year here, maybe you're focused on other things. So is your brain even thinking about love right now? Maybe, obviously some of you, but I don't think it's like a major focus necessarily. I definitely see like a new beginning here as well with the World. With the Temperance card, you have the Chariot. Things are about to pick up. I mean, Eight of Wands is a card of momentum to me, and you have the Eight of Wands twice. The Chariot, to me, is a card of momentum as well, but it's also a card that says where there's a will, there's a way. And you have the Nine of Wands here, which is about kind of developing your will to not give up, right? So I feel like if you want something, this reading is saying you need to take control, and you need to make it happen so that you can be very successful. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Odd Jobs card. It says, consider creating multiple streams of income. It also says second job, odd job, or something like that. So don't be afraid if you are, some of you, this is clearly what's coming towards you. For others, I do feel like there could be another stream of income that's coming in for you here. If you're like looking for more money, or if you're trying to make more money, could definitely be something that's more side business based. You have the and by the way, this is actually the good stuff. This is not, but I do feel like this is what's coming towards you as well. But you have the Devil, the Nine of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune showing up here. I feel like this Devil is and sorry, I have to cover this up just so you know, but because I forgot to color this one in. But I feel for some of you that this is talking about work. Again, this is the good stuff, so it's going to be positive no matter what. And the Devil can represent work and working on things and putting in the work to do something, represents Saturn energy. So I do feel like it could be some improvements coming in for you as far as work or business is concerned. I also do feel you could have another Earth sign coming in for you. That would be Capricorn, but you have the Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. If you're looking for love, could be another Earth sign. You also have the Nine of Swords. I feel like you're ending, again, this is the good stuff, so it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be positive no matter what. I feel like there could be something positive coming in for you in the sense that you're ending a situation. I feel like you're bringing something to an end here. And you also have the Wheel of Fortune. It's like your fortunes are changing here, Taurus. Things are getting ready to happen for you, and I feel you need to realize that. I also feel like, I get this energy. I feel like your reading's very simple. I get this energy of rushing, or trying to rush to fix something, or, trying to rush to, make a decision or whatever. And I feel like if you do that, then you're not going to see these like glowing opportunities that came up in the unexpected in the row before. I feel like they're just like little things that are going to start popping up, right? Little opportunities maybe to make money, little opportunities to improve your situation, whatever the case may be. And it's like, I feel like what you need to see is that these are adding up to something much bigger. So, there might be little odd jobs that pop up, but, I feel like it adds up to something more. With the Devil, you have the Empress. Definitely abundance coming in for you. I mean, this is your card. And so I feel there could be some improvements as far as your abundance are concerned. I feel like there could just be more money coming in for you in general. I also feel like you're creating more abundance with the things that you work on. So, if you're working on any side businesses, side gigs, definitely. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Emperor. If you want love, I feel it could be an Aries, but it could also just be, and it could be any sign, general reading, but I definitely feel there is love coming in for you. Could be a divine counterpart. Is it coming in the middle of December? I'd say no. I think this is something that could be coming in the future. The Emperor is also a card of action. You start with that action card. It's time for you to take action. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Five of Pentacles. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff. So I definitely got this feeling of improving your financial situation. It's kind of interesting because at the beginning of your reading, it's like, that's kind of what was dominating my thoughts, was money. And so some of you definitely, I feel, could be worried about your finances, or, worried about whether you'll make money or how you'll make money, or all this stuff was popping into my head. And I feel like you need to let those fears go. I also feel, I'm going to show you on this one, he has this bell around his neck on the Five of Pentacles, and that represents calling attention to your weaknesses. And, I feel like some of you just like need to make sure that you're not that you're not doing that. I feel like there could be some limiting beliefs. Like I am getting something here about jumping to conclusions, honestly, with that Knight of Swords, where it's like maybe there are things happening in work or business, and it's like I feel like this is saying don't assume things, right? And, especially if there are things that make you feel weak or make you feel like you're not able to do something. It could just be these could just be limiting beliefs, and I would be careful of those limiting beliefs. Finally, for messages from your future self, you have this regeneration time. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, I feel it'd be a great time for regeneration. At the beginning of the reading, I was talking about slowing things down, and I feel, again, that it would be an amazing time for you to kind of like slow things down, don't rush anything, and, kind of like wait to see what opportunities present themselves. I feel like that would be just such a much better place for you to come from, because I feel your future self is warning against this Knight of Swords energy. You have the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Five of Pentacles. I feel like your future self is saying, don't rush into anything. This horse looks stressed out, and it's because he's forcing it to do something. And I feel like you need to make sure that you are not forcing yourself to do something that you want to do, or don't get into situations that you don't truly want to be in. It's like sometimes I think we do things that we don't really want to do. And this is saying, don't do that, because I feel like it's going to cause way more stress, especially if there are situations that kind of like look good that really aren't. I would be careful of that for sure. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, I feel like this is normally, I'm not a big fan of the Knight of Pentacles, but, for you at this time, the end of the year, I feel like this is a good card. I feel like it's kind of saying one foot in front of the other, move forward slowly, don't rush anything. He has all the knowledge and wisdom he needs to be very successful. He just has to plant seeds in these fields behind him. And so I feel for a lot of you, this is kind of like saying, like, okay, like take your time, don't rush anything. Everything's falling into place, things are happening, and, don't be afraid to start like a side hustle if you need to, or something like that. Again, I feel like your future self is saying, do not call attention to your weaknesses with this energy. I also feel, again, there could be like one thing that you don't want to do. Like I said, it is a little, it's a little contradictory, this Knight of Swords, because I do feel like there could be like one thing that you don't want to do maybe, and this could be in work or business, and I feel for some of you this is kind of like saying that you should do it anyway. Sorry, Taurus, I thought someone was coming downstairs, but no one is here, so weird. But anyway, Taurus, with the Knight of Pentacles, you have this Knight of Swords. Yes, I knew these two were connected. I feel like they're connected in the sense that these are talking about your approach to the rest of the year. So I feel like you need to like take your time, don't rush, don't force things to happen. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Star card. Yes, I feel like you need to focus on one thing. I get this thing like about, like I feel like there are things that you really want to do, but you could be saying to yourself, like, oh, I'll never be able to afford that, or I'll never be able to do that. I'm like, well, if that's what you believe, then yes. So I feel like you need to get rid of those limiting beliefs and say, how can I do that? How can I make this happen? How could I, experience some sort of dream that I have, even if you think you can't, right? I think that's all you need to do, is you need to kind of plant that seed in your head. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you do need to be more bold and assertive as well, like asserting yourself. But I also feel this reading is encouraging you to take some more risks. You have the Five of Swords. You also have that Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands does represent kind of like taking a risk or doing something that could be risky, not in like, a bad way. We're talking about like starting a side hustle or something like that. So this reading is like screaming action. Pretty straightforward. We're going to pull 3 cards now here, Taurus, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to answer one question, so feel free to pause this reading and think of a question if you have one. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm going to put them all together at the end, and we are just going to see what comes up. But I'm going to read now, so pause now. You have the Two of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles in the Strength card. It's like some sort of change has to happen in your life. I feel like you've been very patient. Another sign of patience, by the way, could be a Leo for some of you if you're looking for love. But there's something here about patience, because the Strength card is a card of patience. Two of Swords, it's like she's sitting where she's always been. So she wants to change her life, which is really what I feel like you want to do with that Wheel of Fortune. It's like you want to change your life. The Wheel of Fortune is here, which kind of says your life is changing. But I feel like this right here needs to change. The Seven of Pentacles. I almost feel like these are like just 7 different things in your life. It's not even, normally the way to read this would be to say that he's looking at those pentacles and is the juice worth the squeeze? As I always say, he has to look at his life and say, is what I've been doing, is it working? Is it worth it? Am I getting results from this? And I feel like you desperately want to change your life. And you are, is what I would say. But there are like some things that you need to get to submit to you. I'm not even answering a question here, but that's fine. I think that if you get it, you get it, right? You can see here that this lion's tail is between its legs. So it's having to, submit to her. And, the lion kind of represents your inner voice, your inner critic, your inner demons, all those things. So I feel like you have to get those things to submit to you with this energy. And, that's what I would say here. I would like use this time, the end of the year, these last couple weeks, to get get yourself in order and to get those, inner things correct. I would also say 8 of Wands star. I would have like one thing that you want to accomplish at the end of the year here. I would like tell you to set a big goal at the end of the year. You only have 2 weeks left. I challenge you, Taurus, to accomplish something that you think is impossible in the next 2 weeks. And so there you go. Put it down below. Thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.